Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. In this video, we are going to discuss the NIOS mathematics topics. The topics that is being included in this video is Check Your Progress 20.2. So we'll be discussing the questions and its answer. We will be learning the topic transpose of a matrix. Inside that, we can see symmetric matrix and skew symmetric matrix. What are they and how to identify them and what are their properties. And the next one is scalar multiplication of a matrix. Okay, these are the topics included. We will be seeing that. And if you're new here, I would like you to subscribe to the channel, give it a like if you enjoy this content, and share it with your friends. Check Your Progress 20.2. Let's see which of the following matrices are row matrix, column, square, diagonal, scalar, and identity matrix, and zero matrices. So already in the previous video of matrix, we have discussed the types of matrices. So you can just refer to those videos to identify the matrices. Let's see one by one what are the different type of matrices. So let's see the first one. The first matrix, if you see here, you can see in the diagonal elements, they are all numbers. Then the other elements, all the other elements are zeros. So you can name it as a diagonal matrix, and also you can name it as a square matrix since its order is 3 by 3. Okay, so two types of matrix you can say, that is A. Next one is B matrix, and if you look at the B matrix, it has only one column and many number of rows are there. So such a matrix is known as column matrix. C matrix is all elements with 0. So this is a zero matrix. Okay. Next one, D matrix, if you see, it is a square matrix since its order is 2 by 2. You have 2 rows and 2 columns. Okay. 2 by 2 matrix. And if you see, you can identify that the diagonal elements are available and the other elements are 0. In that case, you can name it as diagonal matrix, also scalar matrix. Okay. So these are the matrices. See here, all the elements in the diagonal are same, so we call it as a scalar matrix also. So these are the variations. Now let's look at the E matrix. What type of matrix is E? So if you look at E matrix, it doesn't have a kind of property. You can see all the elements are filled here. Its order comes as 3 by 3, so you can roughly name it as it's a square matrix. Okay. So next one is F matrix, and if you see this, it looks like diagonal elements are there. So the elements are 1. So it is an identity matrix, and also you can name it as a square matrix. That is also possible. Also a diagonal matrix by default because diagonal elements are available. Then comes matrix G, where you have only one row. So it is a row matrix. Comes H matrix. If you look at H matrix, you can say 2 rows are there and 3 columns. Okay. So this kind of matrix, we call it as rectangular matrix, where the rows and columns are not same. If you look at the I matrix, again you can see it is 3 rows and 2 columns. So again 3 by 2 matrix. This also is a rectangular matrix. So you can name it as rectangular matrix, but though in our question it is not given to identify that rectangular. Okay, rectangular matrix. Hopefully this is understandable to you. You can refer to the video of type of matrix to know more about this question. Look at this second question. What we have to do in this question is find out the values of A, B and C, A, B, C and D variables. So pick any of the questions. So we can pick any question which you want to solve. So you have to form equations for that. First question, if we are taking A, it is given that the left hand side matrix is equal to right hand side. That means each corresponding element will be equal to each other. So B will be equal to 10. The first column, first row, first column element will be similar to first row, first column element of the matrix on right hand side. So you get B is equal to 10. Similarly, other equation is 2C, that is equal to 12. And then comes B plus D, that is equal to 8. Then comes C minus 2A, which is equal to 2. Okay, so these are the 4 equations. You have to find out different equations solution. So if you see here, B is equal to 10, that value of B we get from here. So I can write it here as B is equal to 10. Now if you go to the second equation, you can find that C is equal to 12 by 2, that is equal to 6. Value of C is 6 here. Now comes this third equation, that is B plus D is 8. That means already you know value of B, that is 10. 10 plus D is equal to 8. That implies D is equal to 8 minus 10, which is equal to minus 2. So you get D as minus 2. Now you have to solve for A. Here again, this fourth equation, if you see, C value will be, C value is 6. Okay, 6 minus 2A is equal to 2, which implies minus 2A is equal to minus 6 plus 2, which is equal to minus 4, and you get is equal to this. Divide this minus 2 by minus 4. In this case, the solution will be 2. So A becomes 2. So we have got all the 4 values here. Solution of A is 2, B 10, C 6, and D comes as minus 2. Solution of the second question, A, B, C and D values are displayed here. Now similarly, you have to do the other questions, B and C part. Okay, so same method you have to use and solve for the linear equation. That is what you have to do in this type of question. Let's see the next question, that is, can a matrix of order 1 by 2 be equal to a matrix of the order 2 by 3? So let's form a 1 by 2 matrix. 1 means row, so 1 row and 2 column matrix, that is 1 by 2. Okay, let my elements, the first equation be like this, 1 minus 2. Then again form another matrix of the order 2 by 1. That means you have 2 rows. Okay, let it be 3 and 4. Or you can take the same element that you have here, 1 and minus 2. In that case, just check whether they are equal or not. Are they same? No. In this case, you cannot say they are same. Okay. Next one is 2 by 3 and 3 by 3. Of course, they are not of the same order, so they cannot be equal in any case. Okay. So both the solutions are no. You can just create a matrix and see how it looks like. Let's move on to the next topic. Our next topic is transpose of a matrix. Transpose is usually denoted by this symbol, where A is a matrix that you have taken. Consider this is A, so this will be A matrix. So what does A transpose means? So meaning of A transpose is, if you interchange the rows of the matrix and the columns, the new matrix that you get is known as transpose. For example, let's say here, this is your first row, R1, R2 and R3. This is column 1, column 2 and column 3. This is column 1, 2 and 3. So when you have this matrix with you, A transpose, when you do this, R1 will be your column, R2 elements will be your first column, R2 will be your second column, and R3 will be your third column. And similarly, C1 will be your first row, C2 will be your second row, and C3 will be your third row. So this is just an example where it is shown. You can just check here, 1, 2, 3. This is in the first row. Now it appears in the first column. Okay. Then 4, 5, 6. This appears as column. Next one is 7, 8, 9. it appears as a column here. So that is what transpose is. Okay. Now based on this transpose, you have two types of matrices, that is symmetric and skew symmetric matrices, where you will be using this transpose concept. So what is a symmetric matrix means? It has the property like your given matrix will be equal to its transpose. In such case, you call such kind of matrix as a symmetric matrix. For example, let's see this given matrix here. First column, if you analyze, it will be X, A and B. First row is X, A and B. Convert it to a column. So X, A, B becomes the first column. Then A, Y, C, B, C and G. So what we are doing, we are making the first row as the first column. So I am finding the transpose of that. This is your given matrix. So if you check, it doesn't make any change. Both the matrix looks the same. They are the same. So in this case, you can say A and the A transpose both are same. So what happens? This kind of matrix, or this matrix, you call it a symmetric matrix. This is the property. So A transpose equal to minus of A. That means if you find out A transpose for this one, it will look like 0AB minus A 0C, and now third one is minus B minus C and 0. This is your given matrix. In this case, this is A transpose, and now you find out what is minus A. This is your A matrix. Now find minus of A. That means if you multiply by minus 1, what will happen? A negative symbol will come. So 0, first row will be 0 minus A and minus B, A 0 minus C, B, C and 0. Wherever negative is there, that negative will be removed because of that minus 1 multiplication. And if you check both these matrices, they look same. Okay, they are not different, they are same. So A transpose equal to minus of A. This kind of property is shown only by skew symmetric matrix. So the original matrix A, we call it as skew symmetric matrix. Okay. So next one is scalar multiplication. So when a matrix is multiplied by scalar, then each of the element is multiplied by the same scalar. Okay. So consider this is the given matrix. So K is the scalar here. So that K is getting multiplied each time whenever each of the elements. So if it is K, so it becomes 2K, minus 1K, 6K, 3K. Okay, that will be the solution. So similarly, that is what said here. So multiplication or the solution will also reflect that scalar multiplication. Okay. So okay, if K is minus 1, what happens? Minus 1 is substituted for that particular K. This is how the scalar multiplication is done. It is very similar to your multiplication, where each element will be getting multiplied with the same value that is being given. Okay. Look at this question. This is an example of scalar multiplication. You see here, matrix A is given and you have to find out what is 2A. So what you have to do? You have to only multiply the 2 with all the elements. For the solution, you will get 2 into minus 2. That means 2 into minus 2, 2 into 3, 2 into 4, minus 1 into 2, and 0 into 2, 1 into 2. So this will be the resulting matrix. That means you will get minus 4, 6, 8, minus 2, 0 and 2. This will be the final solution of your matrix. So this is how you have to find out the scalar multiplication. You can solve the other question as well. Multiply half or minus, 1 by 2 to each matrix. You will get the corresponding solution. If you have watched the video completely, don't forget to give it a like, share this with your friends and subscribe to the channel to get notifications on time for the similar content. You can also find videos on vocabulary, English grammar, NIOS, computer science, English and mathematics, other topics also. Thank you for watching again.